Welcome, everyone. I'm going to call the special meeting of the Board of Education for November 16th, 2020 at Wichita North High Lecture Hall in order. Mike?
Moment of silence.
Do you want a roll call?
Oh, yes, that would be a great idea.
Okay. We'll start with a roll call. We'll start to my left. Ernestine?
Ernestine Crable, District 3.
Stan Reeser, District 4.
Mike Rohde, District 5.
Cheryl Logan at large. Julie Hedrick, District 3.
Ben Blankley, District 1.
Okay, so we have 3 members in person, 3 members remotely. We have a quorum. If you'll join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we'll have Dr. Mike, our board clerk, read a statement about the COVID-19 modified meeting format.
Good afternoon. My name is Mike Willamy, clerk of the board. This special public meeting of the Wichita Public Schools is taking place at the North High Lecture Hall, 1437 Rochester in Wichita. Due to the governor's declaration of emergency and due to health and safety concerns that exist because of COVID-19, no members of the public are present at this meeting. This meeting is available to be viewed live by the public in the following ways: WPS-TV on Cox Cable Channel 20, the district's website at www.usd259.org/WPS-TV online, and live apps for phone, Roku, and Apple by searching WPS-TV. After today's meeting, a recording of this meeting will be available on Cox Cable Channel 20 and the WPS YouTube channel. The agenda for today's meeting was published on November 13th, 2020 at www.usd259.org/BOE under the BOE Meetings, Agendas, and Minutes tab. The news media also received the main agenda and a portfolio containing the appendices. At this meeting, all board members, district staff, and presenters will identify themselves by name and position before they speak to assist the public in following the meeting. The usual public communications item that allows members of the public to speak at board meetings has been removed from the agenda. In its place, an email public comment item has been added. Information about how patrons can submit email comment is included in the BOE agenda. Public communications will be placed back in the agenda when the public again starts attending meetings. Thank you.
All right, next item, reports, Service Employees International. I do not see Esau today or a representative of them at the moment, so we'll skip them and go to the next item, which is Report United Teachers of Wichita. Welcome, Kim.
Hello, President Logan, Vice President Hedrick, Dr. Thompson, and BOE members. I'm Kimberly Howard, President of United Teachers of Wichita. It's nice to see you all again, but I bet when you ran for this elected office, you weren't imagining anything like this. First of all, the main item under consideration at this board meeting, closing schools for the entire week of Thanksgiving, is something we can definitely agree on. It is certainly a step in the right direction, and Dr. Thompson, I very much appreciated your phone call last week to seek our thoughts on the idea. And later in your email to all staff, you noted the logic behind such a decision. You wrote, positive COVID cases have risen dramatically in Sedgwick County. Local hospitals are at capacity. WPS guest staff fill rates are consistently below the need for substitutes. And WPS COVID positive and quarantine indicators are putting significant strain on functional capacity in our school district. Thank you for looking again at the amount of time required by the state, and we are all appreciative some time can be freed up for this extended break. However, I would be remiss not to reiterate what I said last week. And what I said then carries more weight today than it did then, as our community and school COVID crisis has worsened by the day. The situation is dire and calls for full MSR for the elementary schools, and we strongly encourage you to make that decision for the rest of the semester. Our elementary teachers are frayed at the ends, stressed to the max, fried, tired, sick, quarantined, anxious, sleep deprived, and scared. They are working way too hard to serve our kids. What they have been able to accomplish amid sub shortages and the massive quarantines deserves the highest praise. They are amazing educators and public servants. But where are we right now? Some have gotten sick, some have broken down, and some have resigned. The situation is dire, and it is time for full remote learning and a full-fledged community campaign to get this crisis under control. Another concern I need to bring to you relates to transparency and communication. While teachers have reported to buildings to do work they could have done from home, confronted large class sizes for days on end, and juggled their students while trying to cover for their colleague students, while teachers have worked in this environment, their perception is that you all meet in a nice big socially distanced room with only invited guests allowed, some with presentations arguing a position you will support later in a vote, and the only public input allowed are emails that are not read aloud. It is long past due that you all at least allow public comments while schools are open. Those who wish to speak could be brought in one at a time to speak. Some speakers might be teachers, some might be community members, but all need to know that you are listening. It's also a little disheartening to note here that since this entire pandemic began, not one BOE member has called me to ask us how teachers were doing or to ask about this idea or that. This we simply do not understand. Our educators are smart, talented people. They are upfront, close, and personal with the realities of teaching during a pandemic. We know you have said that you appreciate the work of our educators, but when you are not consulted or asked about how things are working, you feel taken for granted. When you get mixed messages between downtown administration and building administration, you feel taken for granted. When you are given more work and place yourself in harm's way to do your job, but are ignored at the bargaining table, you feel taken for granted. Our educators deserve a level of communication that moves in both directions, and clearly their reply of no at an 85% level communicates strongly that they are feeling very much taken for granted. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kim. Next item.
Under email public comment, we have no emails for today.
Just a brief announcement before we move to the one agenda item on our agenda today. Due to the need for transparency and for to follow state law under these special circumstances, we are limited to just this one item today due to the fact that since it's a special called meeting, for the sake of the public, we can't add items to this agenda today, so I just wanted you to be aware of that. We do have a full agenda. Depending on how the vote goes today, I'll make an announcement about that at the end. So, Mike, next item.
Under operations, proposed revision to 2021 BOE meeting calendar, BOE district calendar. It is proposed that the 2021 district calendar be revised so that fall recess will begin on Monday, November 23rd. Thus, all district schools and support centers will be closed from Monday, November 23rd through Friday, November 27th. This proposal allows employees and students to have an extended break at the end of a month in which positive COVID cases have risen dramatically in Sedgwick County. Local hospitals are at capacity. WPS guest staff fill rates are consistently below the need for substitutes, and WPS employee COVID positive and quarantine indicators are putting significant strain on functional capacity in the school district. It is recommended the board approve proposed revisions to the 2020-21 district calendar, with fall recess for all schools and support centers beginning Monday, November 23rd through Friday, November 27th, 2020.
And I apologize, I should state my name before each comment. Stan Reeser, District 4. I'll turn it over to Dr. Thompson, and just a point of order, what I'll do is after Dr. Thompson makes her presentation and her recommendation, I will look to Ernestine and Mike for comments first, and then I'll go to the remote members if that's okay with them. So Dr. Thompson, go ahead.
We would just like for you to accept our recommendation.
And the recommendation is?
And the recommendation is to approve the revisions of the 2020-21 district calendar with fall recess for the schools and support centers beginning Monday, November the 23rd through Friday, November the 27th, 2020.
So we're basically extending the Thanksgiving break 2 extra days, Monday and Tuesday, November 23rd and November 24th, if this board so votes.
That would be correct.
Okay, Ernestine, do you have any questions or comments on that?
So this would be all employees of the entire school district?
That would be correct.
Mike, no comment. Cheryl, do you have a comment or question?
No, I'm fine with that.
Ben, do you have a comment or question?
Yeah, Ben Blankley, District 1. Dr. Thompson, could you explain the reasoning behind adding these 2 days at the beginning of fall break rather than, say, the Monday, Tuesday of the week following?
Well, we didn't think about doing anything after, to be honest. I mean, I'll just be upfront with that. We just wanted to keep, it's usually typically, this is just habit, so it doesn't mean that it has to be this way, but it's really habit that we try to keep our weeks. If we're going to let people out, we keep it within the week and not chop up 2 weeks, because some teachers, not all teachers, but some teachers like to have the full week and not have choppiness within the weeks. But again, that was the reason why we decided to go with the full week of that Thanksgiving time versus having it to the end and some into the beginning, where you're chopping up 2 of the weeks.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Julie?
I have no questions. I'm in support of this proposal.
Okay, Stan Reeser, District 4. I'm also supportive of this. I just wanted to confirm with Dr. Thompson, this does not affect anyone's pay, and what is the makeup time for those 2 days lost?
There will be, first of all, I'll do what the most important thing is, and everybody will get paid. So no one will lose any pay for those 2 days. That's classified and certified. And as it relates to makeup days, what we have done is when we went back and double checked in that calendar, the makeup time is not going to be, we have a day and a half of minutes left within your calendar.
Oh, that's right.
And so what you have is a half of a day, which we're going to use that for self-directed professional development, which means teachers can use that time to do what they need to do. And we will work with staff and UTW on that, and we will send out directions to our staff members and colleagues about what that means.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson.
Yes.
Any other questions, Ernestine?
Am I correct that the Monday after Thanksgiving, do we have a school board meeting that night?
Depending on this vote, but yes.
Am I correct, Alicia?
You have a meeting on November the 23rd, which the chair here will explain to our community members about what's going to be happening. I'll let him.
Okay, and so to do anything different, like adding afterwards, we can deal with it at that meeting. This is just dealing with the 2 days before the Thanksgiving break. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good question. Thank you, Ernestine. Thanks for clarifying that. Okay, last call for any questions or comments, and if there are not, I will entertain anyone that wants to make a motion.
I move we accept this proposal and have the schools take an extended break at the Thanksgiving week of 23rd through that week?
Yes.
Monday through Friday?
So moved by Ernestine Crable, District 3. Is there a second?
This is Cheryl Logan, at large, I second.
We have a motion to move the extended, to extend our fall break to include November 23rd through November 27th, and that all school and non-attendance centers are closed during that period of time. We'll just go hand vote around the table, and we'll start remotely. Ben, District 1, we'll start with you.
Ben Blankley, District 1, yes.
Julie,
Julie Hedrick, District 2, yes.
Cheryl,
Cheryl Logan, at large, yes.
Mike,
Mike Rhodey, District 5, yes.
Stan Reeser, District 4, yes.
Ernestine Crable, District 3, yes.
Motion passes 6-0. With that passing, what we need to announce then is that we will not have a November 23rd meeting since all the buildings are going to be closed, and we will move that meeting to November 30th. It will be a full agenda meeting on the 30th, and we will also talk about the December schedule, any issues about winter sports, anything that comes up between then and now will be on that agenda. So with that, any last questions or comments?
Sir, is it okay if I'm?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I just wanted to just make a couple of comments, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
I know the first quarter of this year hasn't been easy on any of us, and this disease is out of control in our community. We are feeling the impact of what is happening in our community inside of in our schools with the COVID illnesses alongside of the quarantine. And it has been a rough couple of weeks. And I want each and every one of you, the parents, the staff, the students, and the community to know that we are doing the best that we can, making the best decisions that we can with the information that we have at the time. And none of these decisions are taken lightly. I will tell you that any decision that is made is taken positively by some and negatively by others. And so all I can say is that we're doing the best that we can, and we're trying to listen, we're trying to understand, and we're trying to make adjustments as we can. Our leadership team and our building leaders are working every day to act with commitments to both safety and educational opportunities, and sometimes those things work well together, and sometimes there's challenges with those, but we want to make sure that we're trying to work on safety as well as educational opportunities. And your willingness today, the Board of Education members, to extend the fall break will give our system the much-needed opportunity to regain some functional capacity in our district by giving our employees and our families the opportunity to focus on health and wellness, emotionally and physically. So please, 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 those of you out there, please take this opportunity to follow public health and safety guidelines and make the difficult decision to stay home and not to travel, and not to attend those large gatherings. I plead with you to do that. Take a look at the Center for Disease Control. They have Thanksgiving guidelines. If we can all truly try our best to follow those, that would help our community significantly, which in return would help us out in our schools. And we need all of our students and staff back, and we want them to be healthy in order to provide the best possible learning environments for not just the students, but the staff as well. And we are counting on each one of you out there to take heed. And again, I will always continue to say that we want to try to continue to offer grace, patience, and flexibility to yourselves first, to your colleagues, and to our district leaders, and most importantly, to our students in the coming weeks. And this school year has not been what any of us has envisioned due to things that are out of our control. And so I know we are resilient people. We try to do the best we can, and we will make it through this difficult time together. And so thank you for allowing me to make my remarks.
Ernestine?
One of the interesting sidelights that has happened because of all of this is that we have a whole bunch of children that are learning compassion and learning to have empathy for others. Students, a little one, elementary age, when asked about the mask wearing, was saying, "Oh, but we need to keep everybody safe, and this helps to keep people safe." Isn't it wonderful that out of this terrible thing that's happening to us, we have some social emotional growth happening in the area of compassion and sympathy and empathy, and that's one of the things we always want to have kids learn, and this has given that opportunity. It's sad that we have such a enormous opportunity to be empathetic with other people at this time because of all of the sickness. But I'm really grateful for what's happening to some of these kids that are learning about the world beyond themselves.
Thank you, Ernestine. And I just wanted to also say that I appreciate the board members. And I want the public to understand that we are indeed listening to students, parents, teachers, all our stakeholders. It's very important that we continue to engage with them, and I know we've been doing that, so I appreciate that. Thank you. Let me ask the remote members one last time if they had any closing comments or.
This is Cheryl Logan at large. I just want to emphasize again what Dr. Thompson says, to stay home, be safe, enjoy your immediate family, but don't go out into big groups if at all possible. We want everybody back from the holidays healthy.
Ben, any last comments?
Ben Blankley, District 1. I just, echo everybody else's statements on keeping safe.
Julie?
I just want to reiterate thank you to everyone, parents, students, staff, administration, and also to Dr. Thompson and her leadership team for just the hard work that everyone has done. Every single person has just worked really hard during this pandemic to make a horrible situation as good as possible. So thank you to everyone.
Well said, Julie. Dr. Mike, next item.
Adjournment.
Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
I so move.
Motion by Ernestine Crable, 3rd District. Second?
Cheryl Logan at large, I second.
Seconded by Cheryl Logan. We'll go around the room. This time we'll start with Mike.
Mike Rohde, District 5, yes.
Stan Reeser, District 4, yes.
Ernestine Crable, District 3, yes.
Julie?
Julie Hedrick, District 2, yes.
Cheryl?
Cheryl Logan at large, yes.
Ben?
Ben Blankley, District 1, yes.
Motion carries 6-0, and I hope everybody noticed how quickly, and when I chair a meeting, how quickly they can go. Just joking. Yeah, I'm working on my humility. We are adjourned. Thank you.